So you want to be a millionaire, right? Ever thought about what it really takes? Well, what if I told you it's less about what you do and a whole lot more about what you don't do? Today, we're going to break down 7 things you absolutely have to avoid, all based on the real-world advice from entrepreneur Mark Tilbury. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, this quote right here, this is everything. It's the core idea for this whole breakdown. This is the advice that took Mark Tilbury from a kid who left school with basically nothing to a guy who built a fortune. And the idea is so simple, but so powerful, right? If you want results that nobody else has, you can't just do what everyone else is doing. It's just not going to happen.
And that leads us straight into our first big point. See, right from the get-go, at the very start of your journey, you're standing at a crossroads. You've got to make a choice, and there are 2 very, very different paths you can take.
So check this out. Path 1, that's the safe route. It looks so good at first, right? You land a job with a high salary straight away. Your parents are beaming, your friends think you've made it. But here's the catch. That income, it pretty much stalls out. Then there's path 2. This one's the tough one. It's going to mean less money in your pocket to start, probably some struggle, maybe even people questioning what you're doing. But the whole game here is different. It's about getting skills and owning a piece of the pie, getting equity. And Tilbury says every single self-made millionaire he knows took path 2. Why? Because that's where the real explosive growth is. Here's a great way to think about it. Your skills are like your own personal Swiss Army knife. Every single high-value skill you pick up, I'm talking copywriting, programming, video editing, whatever, it's like adding another tool to that knife. The more tools you've got, the more problems you can solve, and the more valuable you are. Seriously, it makes you almost bulletproof financially because you can always bring something to the table.
All right, so you're on the right path. You're building up that Swiss Army knife of skills. Awesome. But, and this is a huge but, none of it matters if your head's not in the right place. That's our next section, winning the inner game. Because before you can win out there in the world of business and money, you've got to win the battle inside your own head. And that means taking down 2 massive dream killers, your ego and the habit of blaming everyone else.
Ego is just so dangerous, you know? It whispers in your ear that you've got it all figured out. But this iceberg, this shows you the real picture. What you know right now, that's just a tiny little tip poking out of the water. The real gold, the stuff that will actually change your life, is the massive chunk of ice underneath the surface. That's all the stuff you don't know yet. And the only way you get to explore down there is with humility.
And this proverb, wow, it just nails the other half of this inner game, taking responsibility. I mean, it's so easy to blame the system, or your boss, or the economy, right? But when you do that, you're giving away all your power. You're basically saying you're just a victim. The real journey, the path to success, it only starts the moment you start taking ownership of your own stuff.
So I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. When things go sideways, and they always do, when a project bombs, or you just don't get what you wanted, what's your gut reaction? What's the very first thing you do?
Okay, so you have 2 options. You can grab the magnifying glass, and what do you do with that? You point it at everyone else, hunting for their mistakes, finding reasons why it wasn't your fault. All that does is give you excuses and keep you exactly where you are. Or you can pick up the mirror. The mirror forces you to look at the only person in the universe you can actually control, you. Your thoughts, your actions, that's it. So the choice is simple, but it's everything. Choose the mirror, always.
All right, so once you've got that inner game locked down, it's time to start making moves in the outer game. This part is all about the practical, real-world stuff, the actions that separate people who are actually building wealth from those who just, well, look like they are.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You scroll through social media, and what do you see? Lambos in Dubai, crazy expensive dinners, designer everything. It's all screaming, I'm successful. But so much of the time, it's just a show. It's a complete illusion built on a mountain of debt. People are spending all their energy faking wealth instead of actually building it.
And these numbers, they really show you the truth behind the curtain. I mean, forget about buying a supercar. Get this, 37% of people in the US can't even cover a surprise $400 bill. And almost 40% are stressed about just paying their regular bills every month. That luxury lifestyle you see online, it's not real for most people. And trying to chase it is one of the fastest ways to go broke.
So what's the real playbook? It's actually super simple, but it takes serious discipline. Step 1, just stop buying stuff that's worth less the second you walk out the door with it. You know, fancy cars, designer junk. Step 2, take that money and buy things that actually make you money, things that grow in value. We're talking stocks, real estate, assets. And then step 3. This is the magic part. You just wait. You let your assets pay for the luxuries. That's the game. That's how you actually win.
All right, the next huge trap you have to avoid is the lone wolf mentality. This idea that you can do it all yourself. It's a total myth. We love the story of the solo genius, right? We look at someone like Elon Musk and think he just built this empire all by himself. But that is not even close to what actually happened.
And this tells the real story. Musk was just one member of an absolutely stacked team at PayPal. And after they sold that company, this group, they call them the PayPal Mafia, they went out and basically created the modern internet. I mean, look at this list. YouTube, LinkedIn, Yelp, SpaceX, and way more. The lesson couldn't be clearer. You are not going to win alone. Your success is a direct result of the team you build around you.
Which brings us to our last point. And honestly, this might be the most important one of them all. The final thing to avoid is doing nothing. It's about facing that one big wall that stops most people from ever really achieving what they want.
Just look at this. We have a nice name for it, right? The comfort zone. But let's call it what it really is, a prison. Sure, it feels safe in there. It's familiar, but there's no way out and there's zero room to grow. It's a cage, and the toughest part, you're the one who built it, and it's holding you back from everything you say you want.
And if you feel like you're stuck in there, listen, you are definitely not alone. Research shows that more than half of all people never leave their comfort zone, ever. And here's the really sad part. A lot of them know, deep down, that they're going to regret it one day. They are actively choosing that comfortable prison over the chance at real freedom. So, we're going to leave you with this final thought. That prison, you built it, which means you also hold the key. The only real question left is, what are you missing out on while you're still inside? What opportunities, what growth, what version of yourself is waiting on the other side of that wall?